Hey guys, I hope Dex is going really well. I'm going to talk about how we can extend what we did in class with Dex to different applications. And specifically, I've implemented a way that we can use Dex to create a deck of flashcards. So I'm going to go over what I've implemented, the functionality, and then I'm going to do a quick demo as well. So I implemented two different objects, and the first is a card, and that card has three fields: the name, the value or definition, and then the number of reviews I have left. And this last field I'm going to use because I want to review the same card a few times before I can be sure that I'm done with it. And then I have a deck object, and this is created using the decks that we implemented in class. And each item in that deck is a card. So here is an example deck, and I filled it with vocabulary words, their definitions, and then the number of reviews that I have left, which is 3 for all of them. So what your computer is going to print out is press enter to see the definition. It gives me the name. I press enter. It gives me the definition. And now it prompts me to let it know if I got it correct or not. So let's do the scenario if I got adulation correct. So what it's going to do is move it from the front and add it to the end, add last. And also, it's going to decrement the number of reviews I have left because I've reviewed it once, I got it correct. I only have 2 left from what was previously 3. It's also going to tell me right here. Now, what if I get it incorrect? So I do move it to the end still, but because I got it wrong, I have to review it one more time. So it was 3 times before, now I have to review it 4 times. That's to make sure that I really understand what I'm doing, and so I want to review it one extra time. So let's do the scenario where I got aloof right, and now the number of reviews is 0. So what do I do with it? If I move it to the end, it could show up again, right? I don't want to see it again now that I've finished reviewing it. So I can move it to a separate deck called a finished deck, and that's going to contain all the items with 0 reviews left. And this is kind of handy because this data that we have with the definitions and the names, that's data that the user has given us. And typically, if we remove it, we're kind of throwing away that data, which isn't very helpful for us. So I'm going to do a quick demo of what this is going to look like. So I have an input file which has the name of the deck, the number of times I want to review it, and then pairs of the name and the definition. And then when I run my program, it's going to say, welcome to deck flashcards. Let's create a new deck. And it's going to print out all of the names and definitions that I have inputted, just so I can make sure that I got those right. Then it'll say, welcome to start flashcard mode. Please press enter to see the definition. Press enter and it gives me the definition. I didn't remember this one, so I'm going to say that I got it wrong. So as you can see from what was previously 3 reviews left, as I've inputted at the beginning, it's now 4. All right, well, let's see aloof. I know this one. It means not friendly or forthcoming. Okay, yeah, I got that right. So I get to press Y, and now I have 2 reviews left for this word. And I can just continue doing this. I'm going to pretend I got them all correct. And as you can see, the number of reviews is going down for all these words. I'm going to speed through it so that we can get to the end. There we go. We've finished practicing. I have practiced so that the number of reviews are 0 for all of the items. As you can see, adulation needed to review it one extra time than all the rest because I got that one wrong. All right, sounds good. So how did I implement this using the decks that we did in class? So right at the beginning, I created 2 array list decks. One is the review deck and one is the finished deck, like I had mentioned in my presentation earlier. And some interesting methods that I have. So to add a new card, I add that card to the end of my deck that I have to review. If I want to remove a card, I can remove it from the front. I can get the sizes. Peek is an interesting one where I just want to see what is at the beginning of the deck, but I don't want to change the deck at all. So basically, I removed the beginning of the deck, basically because it returns that item. and then I added it back on. It's possible there are better ways, but that's just the way I chose to do it. And then I have my move card function. So I take in a parameter that tells me if I got it correct or not. I change the number of reviews depending on that, and then I add it to whichever deck it belongs to. I can also print the deck, which is how I printed all those definitions earlier. So there are a lot of different things that we can do using the deck class that we implemented. So I really encourage you to make projects of your own. This flashcard deck has so many different variabilities. You can change it depending on what you want to see. Yeah, and I really encourage you to try that out. All right, thank you so much. See you in lecture.